It's just to meet somebody we're learning together with you so many years. We finally meet face to face.
7 years virtually, and we're so happy to be able to finally make it. Step on UK soil.
Welcome to London. Moshe Brandsdorfer here, Executive Director of Torah Initiatives at the Orthodox Union at the OU. We're so excited to be here in London, United Kingdom, for our Siyum Masechtas Yevamos. We're looking forward to a beautiful Siyum in Golders Green and another Siyum in Manchester, in Meretz Hashem. And it's really just going to be a huge Kiddush Hashem. And it's beautiful to see the reach of the Oldaf and the OU Torah world throughout the entire Torah world. And that's what we're here to celebrate. Looking forward. Phone booths of yesteryear in downtown London. This is where a lot of things took place. Big business meetings. And nowadays with apps and the Oldaf app, just a landmark. Right outside the home of the Chief Rabbi of England, Rabbi Ephraim Ervis. Very exciting. We're meeting together here with the leadership of the Orthodox Union, of the OU, Rabbi Howard, the Executive Vice President, Rabbi Elephant, the COO, Rabbi Moshe Shwed, the Director of Old Torah, and as well as other OU delegates. And just an exciting moment to meet somebody who is in a leadership role for so many Jews throughout London, throughout England, throughout the United Kingdom, and throughout Europe.
Standing here with Joel from the JLE, he did a wonderful, beautiful, brilliant job. To begin here at the JLE in London, this is super exciting, brilliant. They did a fantastic job. I'm just proud. It was great.
It's a huge thrill to be hosting here tonight, and on that note, I'd like to thank all the speakers who are coming and who are here, but Bifrat Dayan Geli here tonight, who has made a special effort to come away from a simcha and to be here and spend a few minutes with us. It's a schus gadol to have the Av Beis Din of London Beis Din, Dayan Geli Shlita.
But it's also a siyum, it's also a simcha, because you've always had the Masechtas, and you've probably learned the Masechtas in yeshiva. But the fact you've had a new dimension of this Torah that gives you an amkus, and an amkus in Avonos HaTorah is a different connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu ultimately, and for that we have a siyum. So my Rabbi I am extremely honored to be associated with this Choshev siyum. Again, I thank Rav Moshe and the other Rabbanim who've come that give prestige to our town, this simcha that we can feel, that everybody was nene so many years from a klokite in learning. I understand the Shia is given with bechachmo, v'svuna, v'seichel toiv, and all the added things are put in and the other things are not needed or kept out, etc. I'm told it's absolutely a magnificent Shia, and my Eirach for the OU has gone up as a result. It was pretty high where it was, but it's all daf, my Rabbi say. It's Hashem. This Choshev organization should go Michael v'Chail and should have Hatzlacha Rabbah. And Mitzvah Hashem, we should soon go and Kegem Mashiach Tzedkeinu b'meira v'yameinu Amen.
But what does it need? It needs the kolsa, it needs the cheshek, it needs the geschmack, it needs the yearning, day after day, to be able, that itself needs Siyata D'Shmaya. But that's what gives us the Yagato Matzasa. If every day we come with that Simayan, we get up in the morning, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's late at night, whether we're walking, we're driving, and we're able to tune in with a cheshek and a tzimayin to be able to learn Torah. That's what gives us the Yagata Matzasa Tamin. We have another platform called All Parsha, and Rabbi Hartman sends us a beautiful, beautiful Zisa piece every week on the Maral on the Parsha. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you get a flavor and a geschmack and a real understanding of what the Maharal, how the Maharal learns up the Parsha.
Every siyum is these two Rashis. Michad Gisa, the Oilam learned Yevamis, which is Moiridik and Gavaldik, and like Reb Shwed mentioned, a perseverance of daf after daf. But by Am Yisrael, nothing ends. It's always just the beginning of the next step of bringing out a potential weiter.
But to watch and to see this transatlantic chibur, I can't imagine what I would give to be able to understand what Rabbi Elephant feels as person after person comes over and says Shalom Aleichem to a Rebbe for 17 years, for 15 years, for 7 years, who they never met. I don't know how, Rabbi Elephant, together with Rabbi Menachem Genack, had the largest kashrus organization in the world, and somehow on the side he manages to give one of the most popular, if not the most popular, Daf Yomi Shir.
Every morning we declare, with our behavior, how we live our lives, and we live a life of Torah, that we're not just Lishmaya Lilmaid, we are people who are Lilamed. We are people who teach Torah. We maybe don't teach it on all daf, although you could call Rabbi Shwed, maybe you'll put your shir up. You need a lot of protection. Lilamed, every one of you are Lilamed. You teach your families and you teach your neighbors and you teach everybody who you come in contact with. And those that, and for Zoicha, to be the people who learn the Torah. So we will have the same Hatzlocha as Rabbi Kiva had, a kol daf v'daf, a kol gal v'gal on every wave that attacks us. And all the challenges of life, I hold on to that daf. And all the situations in life, that there are the situations that we have as a community and that we have as individuals, the schus ha-Torah, the schus of the shalom ha-Torah will be with us until the next time we meet each other very soon, should be at a siyum in Yerushalayim habnuya b'meher b'yameinu.
You should know Torah is exactly the same. The method of acquisition of Torah is the same. You have to think big. If people think small, I want to learn this, a few dafim, a few simonim, you'll never acquire Torah. The person has to think big. And then after that, you have to start working hard. You have to roll up your sleeves. Everyone wants to learn Shas in one night, and they want to sleep 8 hours on that night. It doesn't go like that. You have to work hard on it. And yes, just like in business, you fail and fail till you succeed. Ein adam oimed al divrei Torah elon kei nechshel ba. That is the way you acquire Torah.
Big thank you to all DAF. What a tremendous fuss it has been to host you. My name is Rabbi Benji Mulkin. I'm Executive Director here at JD in London. You have brought together Talmidim who for 17 years, some of them have been listening for Rabbi Elephant, but right here across the Atlantic on July 4th, Yidden came together, Talmidei Chachamim, Marbin Shalom B'Olam, Tizkal Mitzvahs, and thank you so much for being and making us a part of this.
We just finished a beautiful, inspiring, uplifting event beyond my expectations.
What should I say? Our All DAF team, there is no other team like that in the world. They don't only do a great job on the internet, they don't only do a great job in America, they even do a great job in Europe. It's proof that what they're doing is the Shem Shemayim to make a Kiddush Hashem. Tonight was a Kiddush Hashem. When Mashiach comes, this is what it's going to look like. A room full of people of every stripe and color, all uniting around the Torah.
particularly honored that Rabbi Elephant has graced us with his presence today at this siyum. Rabbi Elephant, your shiurim and style of teaching keeps me engaged, and I love to get up early and listen to the shiur. Thank you for facilitating such a fabulous resource. Your zechus is huge.
Catskills. Where Moshe Brandsdorfer thinks he's in the Catskills, but we're really in Manchester, UK. Almost the same.
Actually, it has a little like New Hampshire fresh air. Thank you. So excited to be here at Or Yerushalayim. A beautiful Jerusalem stone for our siyum here in Manchester. Siyum Mesach Sivamas. The whole community is coming out. It's going to be a beautiful Kiddush Hashem, a beautiful simcha for all the Nisaimei, Mesach Sivamas, on to Ksuvas.
I'm introducing him. I just stepped onto Manchester soil for the first time in my life.
So we're very proud to host the All Daf Siyum here in our shul hall. You want to know how I got involved? Guess Reb Shaya got involved through SCP, which is also an OU project, and he knows that I'm involved in the shul. I live in Daf, so he wrote me in, and it's just been very great work with you guys. And Mir Hashem, we're going to have an amazing evening. L'Hagdil Torah L'Hadira.
Amen. Thank you.
Tonight, we are not here to fundraise, as far as I understand. We are here to be L'Hagdil Torah V'Yadir. With the various chaburas around town, and with the shtatfus of the Rabbanim, and the Rabbanim that have come, especially from America, it's such a kavod for us to meet one of the greatest Marbitei Torah in the world. If not, one of the greatest and largest Marbitei Torah ever. At the back of my head was a Brahms Bakasha. What about Chazar? And then one day I came across Rav Goldha. Zichru. It's on the app. Where every single daf has a simon. It has his teapot. Hay is hay. Today's daf was Kufil base was a Rubik's cube. Today's daf was Kuf Chaf. It was Cook. Every single daf had those unbelievable tools to help you memorize. And all of a sudden, a simple person is able to memorize daf after daf. And this is what the All Daf has brought to the world.
So many of you may be wondering, why have a bunch of Americans decided, today's July 5th, but yesterday was July 4th, 1776, the United States of America decided they're making their own country and leaving the United Kingdom, so why would we come back here and miss all those celebrations? So the story goes back, there was a fellow in London, actually, who's been a Talmud Rebbe Elephant for 17 years. And at one point during COVID, he reached out to us that he has a friend who's very sick. Perhaps we could set up a Zoom meeting. Rebbe Elephant could speak to him, little Talmud Rebbe Elephant. And they spoke, and then this person passed away 2 weeks later. His name is Yehuda Leib Shmuel Masker Zikray. And through that initial conversation, he said, we're making a siyum on Yavamis. He wants there to be a siyum in London. So I don't know all of the London-Manchester jokes, I'm still learning them. So last night we were in London, and tonight we headed up to the wrong side of the highway. We were confused, headed north to Manchester, and here we are.
Because the Miyabim, not enough that of course he's not killing his brother. And not enough that he wants to protect his brother. But he even is committed to bring him back to life. That is Malchus. A Malchus is when you have such a thing as a Leva Ummah, as a nation that's together. A nation that's together knows no bounds to its level of arvus to one another. Even when it's already done, when it's farfallen kilu, it doesn't matter. There's such a notion of even resurrecting, of even being Mekim Shem of one who's gone already. That's the true getter of Malchus. And that's this mitzvah, that's this Masechta that we learn, this Yesod of what it means to be an Am, to be Klal Yisrael.
And someone called Moshe Shwed kept on popping up on my LinkedIn feed. And I knew there was two messages here. I was either spending too much time on LinkedIn, or it was a message for me to learn Daf Yomi. However, I decided not to take the message about spending too much time on LinkedIn, even though it probably is correct. And I've realized I need to do something. I had literally, at that time, before that time, I had no plan of starting Daf Yomi. And there was these messages from Moshe Shwed coming up every couple of days, saying we're starting this new idea, this new platform. We're going to be encouraging people to learn Daf Yomi. So I sent him the following message. Harry and Moshe, etc., etc. I would love to start the Daf for the next cycle. I would love to find a shir that's 30 minutes a day, quick, Pasha Pshat. Rabbi Elephant's shir is excellent, but it's a little bit too long for a daily commitment. Is there any half-hour shir you could recommend? That was my very first of many, many messages from Moshe. He replied, I'm going to look into it. However, I would recommend trying to put the speed up to 1.5. Thank you, Moshe, for introducing me to 1.5 speed. What a broadcast.
But when I look at this room, I think of two things. I think of the words that we're going to hear soon as we make the Siyum, Masechta Yevamos, and on every Masechta that we make, Hadron Aloch. And there are many, many pshatim in what does Hadron Aloch mean. But I think the pshat of Hadron Aloch means Hodor, creates Hodor. When you look at a room like this, all sorts of different types of Yidden, the frat, I as an individual who grew up my whole life in Brooklyn, New York, I don't know if you ever heard of the place. So we think that Yiddishkeit is in Brooklyn, New York, maybe Yerushalayim. And I say to Daf Yomi in my dining room, there's nobody in the room besides me. And I think to myself, is anybody listening? And then when I come here or other places, and I meet people who come over and say that they listen to the shir, and they say thank you. The thank you is not from you to me. The thank you is from me to you. You don't know how you enhance my life. You don't know how you enhance the lives of my family.
You'll be the general in the shit's on. You're going to have a lot of knowledge.
We just finished an incredible, inspiring event in Manchester. My first time here. Don't worry, I'm not staying too long. I'm leaving tomorrow. I have to thank Reb Shaya Klein and Reb Avni Stern and Reb Gershi Rose. They were the ones who put this all together. And you tell us, how was it in Manchester? For us, it was
amazing.
Beyond and beyond.
It was amazing. As I mentioned this in my drosha, but I presume this is for other stuff. Okay, other stuff. So as I was walking into the room, and I saw an elephant there, and the Chevra were going past him, one after the next, saying, Rebbe, you taught me so much. I've literally learned thousands and thousands of hours of learning from you. Each one was basically saying that they're a Talmud Rebbe elephant, and so many people just now came up to me and said, what an opportunity to see my Rebbe and to see my Prince together. And the atmosphere was amazing. Baruch Hashem. We were actually quite worried. We won't be able to fill the hall, remember?
Yeah, of course I know.
Right? Gershi?
Absolutely.
Baruch Hashem Gershi is our marketing guru.
I want to say this.
And Baruch Hashem, absolutely packed. When I was speaking, see every single chair was taken. It's beautiful.
I'll just give you my 2 cents. I'm mesmerized. We read the Gemara about Rabbi Kiva, Moshe Rabbeinu giving shir to Klal Yisrael. When you're sitting with people like this, and you hear that you can give shir, you can actually have a yad every day. People hearing shir, thousands of people every day. Dvayom b'yomon, something small idea which avalanches into this massive fanem, and then they come here to Manchester to be able to partake internationally. People said to me, there must be something behind this. I say, yeah, it's a cheshik to be marbitz Torah, and this is what we're seeing. Poshta, selfless people giving away from their time and the koichos to build up more Torah, to be able to, what Rabbi Aaron spoke about, this is it bigger and better all the years over everywhere.
That's all you could say. You come here tonight and you see what Klal Yisrael is. And the schus, when the Kodesh Baruch Hu will see where we are, we should have Rachmanas on us and take us out of all the sorrows. Every Yid should have Yeshuas and Brachas. And together we should go connect Mashiach Tzidkeinu and Amen.